Well, hello everybody, coming live from Zermatt, Switzerland. Coming on a little bit early there, Pacific Coast time, just to throw you off, right? Because it's late here and maybe the European sector can catch me live for a change. So I wanted to talk about all that's going on here. I have had the most incredible time here in Zermatt. The Matterhorn energies yesterday, hi Tien Marie, were profound, as have been all of the activations we've been doing since I got here over the last 2 weeks. So I wanted to share that because you guys are feeling energetically what's going on. Hi Misty, going on, and a lot of energy has been generated. Interesting that there was just a new eruption of something that only erupts like every 200-300 years off the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. Interestingly, that point is directly through the globe, same latitude as Sarre, France, which was on the same day that the volcano erupted. So methinks that some of the activation stuff we're doing is actually having that global effect that we're feeling, and people are feeling it everywhere. They're talking about all these crazy things going on, this upheaval, this cleansing feeling, really having a lot of the persecution and the suppression of the feminine from the Black Madonna energies and the sorceress energies, and all of us that have had experience with being burned at the stake. Many of us have those experiences. Hi Heather, nice to see you. It's in our consciousness, whether it's in our own cellular memory from a past life experience or time-space continuum, they are concurrent. Hi Jane, good to see you. Or whether it's part of the collective and we connect to it and we feel it because of our sisters and all those around us in our families. This particular activation sequence has really a great deal of effect on that collective. It's setting up a quadrangle around Europe, and the specific points, interestingly, are very connected to the Black Madonna, to the sorceress energy. And wow, did you know that there's a Black Madonna energy field in Valais, Switzerland, in the whole valley, also called Valais, and that's what led me to find the Matterhorn as the apex for this one. Hi Rhiannon, good to see you. So having those pieces as part of it, and also this being the territory directly between the female black dragon under the continent of Africa and the male white dragon under the northern section of Europe, it's the middle ground. And so it's this interesting dichotomy of the dark and the light and the shadow, and so much shadow around the persecution of the feminine, but also with one of the activation points being in Berlin at Checkpoint Charlie, the huge cleansing that happened there. You might have picked up on this on Monday. A lot of cleansing and healing, a really deep purging of all the persecution that happened there. And that wasn't just of the feminine, that was a racial political, all kinds of pieces in there of suppression, of oppression, of mass genocide, and all of these pieces are coming up and being purged and cleansed. And so you've been feeling a lot up and down with whatever those pieces are that are connected for you from this. Hi Heather, good to see you. Starting to move through your field, because what happens in these activations, I want you guys to understand that a little bit, because even though you might not be specifically involved in the team that's actually doing the activation with me, any of these you're able to meditate into the field and feel it. Or when you're meditating and you're like, wow, what's going on energetically? You're connected to it because you're part of that dragon lineage. You're part of the collective humanity. You're part of what this whole thing is feeling. So the activations themselves aren't just about the physical light that gets activated in the planet. Huge columns of light being cleared and opened, and literally, as I've talked about several times, an unpinning of the energy of 3D that's anchored in. So if we visualize, and I've mentioned this as a description for you before, if we visualize like saran wrap all around a sphere, and in order to get it to stick, like when you make those Christmas ornaments as a craft and you want to put the sequins in, well, you got to pin them in, right? You're pinning it in. Well, if you imagine that saran wrap around a beautiful 5th dimensional or 6th dimensional or 7th dimensional sphere, and to drop it into something that can actually go into dense form, we cover it with this saran wrap and we put the push pins in, and that holds that 3D density ball. It keeps it enclosed, right? That saran wrap just encapsulates it. So, hi, Ryan, good to see you. So, if we want to reverse that, we've got to pull the pins out. So, there's quite a few things happening with these activations. One, this column of light is being activated in each, and that goes and clears the energy that's in those places and within the quadrangle. But once the entire quadrangle, which is actually the 4 corners and the apex points of a Merkaba, are actually what's being unpinned on each of those points, and as that happens, the entire thing starts spinning anti-clockwise and pulls itself up and out of the 3D lock in, those push pins. We're pulling them out. So hi Liz, hi Misty. So that's one aspect, is the unpinning. Another aspect is that light column and expanding that and freeing up all this energy, because that as that unpins all that collective density that's held there so that it can shift up. Hi Sharina, so that it can expand out. So what happens when we do that? Well, we're part of the collective. We're part of the 3D field. So wow, when that expands out, we're going to feel it, because everything is macrocosm, microcosm. If it's happening on the planet as a body, as a being in this universe, we are going to feel it on the microcosm in our body as a being in this universe. So all those pieces of you that are connected to those specific shadow pieces are going to start moving and expanding. When it expands, whoa, things that are being stretched or expanded that have been really compact and dense within us are going to have to break free and loosen. And so we get challenged. We have things come up. We get all of our buttons pushed and triggered. And then the next day we feel expansive light and we're like, wow, I feel like I'm in a new universe. And then the next day another button gets pushed and triggered. Why? Because we've been doing activations every couple of days. And we've got one more piece for this larger one. This is the second quadrangle. We did a smaller one, and now we're on the bigger one. So the energies are bigger this week. And we're finishing it on Monday down in Vesuvius, down in Naples. So watch for that energy completion on Monday when the full quadrangle of this larger one around Europe between the black and the white dragons kicks in. And just feel free to connect into that. We're going to be doing that one around, I'm going to say 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, 3 p.m. Europe time. So wherever you are in relation to that, so Pacific Coast, 9 hours earlier than that, all of Europe right aligned with that. Feel free to meditate in and connect to that, because you will feel that final piece kick in. You'll feel this large expansion and this release of this section of the planet. So what was beautiful yesterday, as I said, I'm in the Matterhorn. This is actually the apex. And so the one yesterday was the most beautiful, expansive crystalline heart energy. Was really refreshing after the density of the previous two. But when I went in, and what's amazing here is the rocks. All the rocks around, you look like you're walking on fairy dust. There's something in the rocks here that puts a silver sheen on everything, at least up high where I was for the activation site, in sight of the Matterhorn itself, with this beautiful lake in front of me. And that lake was actually connecting. It was like almost like a heart-centered core, because of the expansion of the water straight under the mountain. I don't know how it manifested, but it made this incredible column, and it connected to the center, the heart of the mountain, High Shakya. And that was so expensive, and it was just this massive lattice work, a crystalline lattice work that just, as the geometries kicked in that we do with the dragon hearts, there was a crystalline lattice work that expanded itself, and then the energy hopped out towards Kailash and towards the Grand Teton, actually in Wyoming in the States. Some kind of a triangulation there that I've got to look into, but wow, it's starting to actually project the energy. It came up so unexpectedly, so beautifully, that this huge column of light, as it expanded in the core, jumped out and arced out over to Kailash. Absolutely wasn't expecting that. And wow, it's so profound, because we're heading to Kailash in September. I still have only a couple of places left. I think I only have 3 or 4 left. If anybody's still wanting to go, there's time. I know the deadline is next week, but I can get you in if we at least get the ball rolling. So if you've been feeling it and you're feeling that arc of energy from yesterday and something coming up with Tibet, please reach out and let me know, because I want to get you the details. I want to get you in on that if you're supposed to be there. And so that showed me that this piece being completed, before we move to that piece, they're connected. and that energy is already moving in that direction for that completion. So really excited about that, really excited about all of this. And that tomorrow I actually head to Lyon, France, where we're going to be doing a workshop. Got a good group together there, and man, there's going to be some powerhouse dragon energy going on all weekend, so pay attention to what you're feeling. All right, guys, fun always to come to you live. Really fun to come from Switzerland here. You can see the daylight is fading, and I've got a glow on my face from the inner light just so that you could see me trying to work it out. Nancy, hi, nice to see you. Yeah, Rhiannon, definitely felt yesterday. So much expansive, woo, crystalline fields. So you guys have a lovely, lovely evening or morning or day, wherever you are in the world. And for those that catch it on the replay, I love you guys. You're still connected and feeling this. So feel free to post those questions. I will be back. Hi, Leandro. Nice to see you from Barcelona there. We will be coming back to Barcelona at some point and doing some work there. I gotta say, I'm excited because the Spanish dragons are just starting to wake up, and the book is now going to be coming out in Spanish as well here in the next couple of months. We've got English, French, and Spanish coming out in print on demand very shortly. Pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, isn't this beautiful? Tinri, I know, I'm excited about being here. It's been a wonderful 2 days here in Zermatt, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Although I will say that next week, Thursday, is the 4th of July, which in the States is a holiday, so you guys might not be tuning in, and I will be traveling. So I will try and catch you when I can, either before or after, but always thinking of you guys. Checking out now. Bye.